The gentleman yields back. I now would like to recognize the gentleman from Tennessee for his 5 minutes of questioning. Mr. Ogles.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Lang, after the Biden administration's disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan, Biden offered tens of thousands of Afghans passage into the United States. We all understand the desire to get known trusted partners to the United States, perhaps, safely after withdrawal. But there are also many hostile, violent people in Afghanistan. Did the Biden administration adequately vet Afghans before granting them parole? Ms. Lang.
Thank you for that question. The screening and vetting of Afghan evacuees at the time was a subject of one of our reports. Kristen, I would like to, it was part
Ms.
of
Bernard,
my colleagues'
fine.
Sure, yeah, I can take that. We did do an audit in 2022 to look at the screening and vetting of the Afghan withdrawals. We did, in our population, we did find that I believe it was 35 who were allowed to board a flight that hadn't been fully screened. And generally, we found that CBP did not always have accurate and complete data for conducting the screening of those evacuees. In some cases, they were just missing their identification. So, we didn't even have biographic information to screen. Since that time, the department has provided documentation that all of the evacuees have been screened, and that's something that we're still looking at now to validate.
So to be clear, at the time that they were granted parole, we did not have the entire picture of who these individuals were. In some cases, we did not have their identifications. I think it's safe to say that some of the very people that have torn that country apart, some of the very folks from Afghanistan that we might otherwise allow to be here, they allowed the folks they're running from to come with them. This is a disaster. This is a recipe for disaster. And also keep in mind that little event called 9/11 was planned in Afghanistan. So we have folks in this country, that don't like the United States of America. We've seen it on full display for decades now. And the botched withdrawal, the failed policies of the Biden administration, and allowing folks from a hostile nation to come here unvetted makes America less safe. And to be clear, we know that we've let individuals on the terror watch list into this nation. Some through the parole program, some have walked through our southern border. This is a failure of the Biden administration. Enough is enough. So as you see President Trump going through the process of closing the border, as you see the mechanism where we're deporting individuals, this is our country. These are our borders. If you're not from here, you are a guest, and we get to decide who comes in and who has to leave. And the way forward, as we face the barreling debt this country has in our future, is we get to decide. The average immigrant family that comes here illegally will cost the American taxpayer $1 million. $1 million. Where's that money coming from? It's coming from you. It's coming from me. It's coming from hardworking Americans. And it's time that we do the hard thing, that we admit that the Biden administration, or for that matter, any administration, who allowed folks to be here that shouldn't be here, that we send them home, that we give them the opportunity to go back home. And look, I don't blame anyone for wanting to come here. I have 3 children. My wife and I, we have 3 children. I walk through fire and over glass to give them a better life. But if you want to come to this country, our country, you're going to do it the right way. And you're going to follow our rules and our laws. And if you don't like it, you can leave. And I'm not going to be apologetic for a president or for myself or for my colleagues who understand and respect the rule of law and respect everyone, citizen, non-citizen, guest, illegal. You're going to follow our laws. And if you're here legally, you need to get out. Mr. Chairman, I yield back.